Okay, so we're getting back into Explorer on Arena for the first time since the bans, and we're taking this Jund food list for a spin. So, in case you weren't aware, the most recent ban list just went active. Winota has been banned in Explorer for a little bit, but then it was also banned in Pioneer, and with it, Expressive Iteration. And Expressive Iteration has also therefore been banned from Explorer, and I think that Jund food is pretty well positioned to take advantage of those bans. So Jund Food is pretty good when there is no like super low to the ground aggro deck and no super go over the top deck in the format. And Winota was like that super low to the ground aggressive deck that could kill you before you could get your Trail of Crumbs, Mayhem Devil, Dirtily, Cat Oven stuff going. And it was also a pretty big go way over the top of you deck. If you couldn't keep the opponent's board under control, then they would just slam Tovolar's Huntmaster on turn 4, and even, no matter how many cats and ovens you have in play, it's going to be pretty tough to protect against that. Only running 4 copies of Fatal Bush, this deck has a pretty solid proactive plan, and Winota doesn't care about your proactive plan because it just goes bigger than everything else. In the same way, Expressive Iteration is kind of like the opposite ban. It's not great in the super aggressive decks, but it is great in the go way over the top of you decks. The Izzet colors, of course, are pretty good at going way over the top. There's no shortage of things that they can do to you in the endgame. Expressive Iteration nerfs those decks pretty significantly. So if there's no go way over the top and there's no go way under you in aggro, all of a sudden Mayhem Devil starts to look pretty appealing once again. So we have the main core that we're used to from the historic version of Jund Food. This was practically entirely standard legal back when these cards were in standard. So most of the cards don't need any particular introduction. You can see, interestingly, that even though we're playing 4 copies of Thoughtseize in the 75, they are all on the sideboard. That's because this deck just doesn't really care super much about interacting with your opponent's own plan. Most of those plans do not line up super well in Game 1 with Mayhem Devil or Korvold. Fatal Push is pretty good at removing any problem permanents. Most of those permanents are creatures. Revolt is very easy, obviously, to enable in a sacrifice deck. So you can kill any creature for 1 mana at instant speed with mana value 4 or less. And that means that any play the opponent makes in the early game is pretty easily answered by that, and in the late game you take over just by pinging the opponent to death with Mayhem Devil. You are an aggressive deck. Like, you're an aggressive side of the mid-range deck that also just happens to be very good at playing control against creatures. We're not trying to win a long game so much here. We're trying to get our value engine online against the control-y decks just to give us game, but the main plan is really just to ping the opponent to death with Mayhem Devil. We also have 4 copies of Fabled Mirror Breaker. Because we're a red deck, so of course we have 4 copies of Fabled Mirror Breaker. It's good in every red deck, but it's particularly good in this one. You get a token, which creates treasures. Those sacrifice for mana. Those trigger Mayhem Devil. So they're particularly good in this deck by itself. They enable Revolt for Fatal Push. Then you get to loot away 2 cards. This deck uses its graveyard pretty well. We get to put the cats in the bin to be able to recur them with foods that we create from Gilded Geese, Witches Up, and whatever. And then flipping it, getting to copy a Mayhem Devil that then sacrifices itself on end step for additional damage. That's pretty sweet. That's where we want to be. So this deck is really good proactively. Games 2 and 3 are a little harder. You need to be able to interact with opponents' hate pieces. That's where Binding the Old Gods comes into play. That's where Vraska comes into play. Just dealing with problem permanents that Fatal Push couldn't. And obviously the main boogeyman of the format right now is Greasefang. We're pretty good at dealing with Greasefang. Most of the red-black decks have good matchups with Greasefang, and this is no exception. We get to bring in the full 4 copies of Thoughtseize, we get to bring in 2 unlicensed Hearses, we get to bring in Tormod's Crypt, Duress, Doomblade, Noxious Grasp. All of these things kill Greasefang. Kills it dead. And if you can get past turn like 6 or 7 against Greasefang, you probably have more than enough value accumulated to win. So that's the plan. We're going to hop into some games and see how the deck does on the Explorer ladder. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, this is close. We see Obosh on the opponent's side. I'm not sure what that means. My guess is it's some sort of like Temur Clovery thing. Obosh is permanents or it's creatures? Only cards with odd mana value, so it's not Temur. I don't know what it is. But it's definitely aggressive, and I think the goose is probably going to die. So I think we mulligan this, although it does seem close. This is significantly better. So we can keep this, and the question is, what do we put back. I don't think we can realistically rely on the Goose surviving. Fable's really good, Mayhem Devil's really good. Is it Corvold or is it a land? I think it's Corvold. Maybe that's wrong. Obosh might not have a great way to deal with a 4 toughness creature. Fable can help us find our land drop if we can get to 3 mana. I think we put back Corvold. Just make sure Fable resolves. Fable can find us a Corvold, ideally. I just want to make sure I can cast my spells. Cast the Llanowar Elves on 1. Alright. Llanowar Elves, obviously a pretty good 1-drop in a deck that can only run odd CMCs. Buying Obosh is something we like to see, though. I think I am down to just slam Fable here, right? Just get it cooking as quickly as possible. Yeah. I think if you ever have a choice of playing Fable or don't playing Fable, I think the answer is probably to play Fable. Especially if you're not playing against a blue deck. Alright, so we've reached 4 mana. They can't have a 4 CMC spell. So their best 3 mana play was to buy Obosh last turn. What do you think their best 4 mana play is? And we can kill the Llanowar Elves with Mayhem Devil next turn as well, ideally. Maybe. Oseju. I think we are more than fine with this, right? It even gives us land. Seems great. We only have the 1 basic. Oh, it's basic land type, though, actually. We can search for anything we please. We can even put into play untapped. I'm pretty happy. I think just any of these is good. Let's take an Overgrown too. No, let's take a stomp. Yeah, let's take an Overgrown too. So let us get the Older Familiar down. Actually, I don't think the decision matters all that much. But we're definitely shocking. Let's draw a card. Another Overgrown too. Sure, makes sense. I attack you. Okay. Mayhem Devil. Back pressure. Kill the elf. Play the goose. And do I shock in and play the cat? Obosh is not playing. Obosh is not playing board wipes, right? Let's just get aggressive. If they kill the cat, then I have food to bring it back on end step anyway. And we got it. Alright. No idea what we're up against. I have been out of the game for a little while in Explorer, but I don't remember anything like this ever being good. Could be like a color-screwed Abzan Greasefang list with Obosh? I guess. Parhelian's a 7-drop, Greasefang's a 3-drop. I mean, I guess it could be. They're ramping into something. I don't know if it's a creature they're ramping into, or a creature or a spell. I think I just don't change anything. Until they show me what they're doing, I think I'm just going to keep my normal game plan. I don't think I sideboard, period. Okay. On the draw this time, we have Cat, we have Trail, we can cast everything. This hand looks great. We don't have removal. It does have Llanowar Elves as well. Okay. I'll just be aggressive. Opponent's unlikely to be able to, like, exile the cat. And against a ramp deck, I think I want to get as low to the ground as possible. Fight rigging. Alright. So against fight rigging, I definitely wanted to bring in the bindings. However... do we attack or do we play trail? Or, I mean, do we dispute or do we play trail? I think the answer is we play trail. Just do our thing. The opponent is going to play, like, Rotting Regisaur here. Then it's going to hurt. Yep, okay. Let's see what they exiled. If it's like Turn Timber Symbiosis or something. Oh my god. Okay. We did not sideboard correctly against this. Yeah, I think that's definitely the ball game. Let's go to game 3. Okay. Yeah. Give me the bindings. Give me the Vraska. I don't think Duress is great. I do think I want the Thoughtseizes. So we need to make 7 cuts given that? Maybe Vraska just isn't very good. It's true that Vraska isn't very good. Maybe we just lean on binding to kill the fight rigging and the Thoughtseizes. If that's the case, what are we cutting? We're probably not going to have a whole lot of time to cast Deadly Disputes. I'll probably trim a few of those. Corvold does not line up well with Titan of Industry at all, but I guess if they've ever landed the Titan of Industry, then we're just dead. Fatal Push seems really important to keep them from ramping. They have had Llanowar Elves on 1 each game. Cat Oven really good against Rotting Regisaur, though, if that's all they have. So I don't really want to trim the cats, even though that's what I was thinking of doing. Mayhem Devil really good against Llanowar Elves. We're on the play, so Trail of Crumbs is better than it otherwise would have been. Maybe it's just all the disputes. Maybe it's just something like this. Do the normal Jund Food plan. Thoughtseize away their important bits and just kill them. I think I buy it. Okay. So we'll keep. I think we get on the board before we Thoughtseize them. They mulligan against us, we have Thoughtseize. That seems great. As long as we take, like, fight rigging, then I think we're in good shape. And I think the highest payoff play is Goots on 1, even though it's not technically the most aggressive thing. If we draw, like, Fable of the Mirror Breaker or Mayhem Devil or whatever, or especially Trail of Crumbs, then we definitely want the Goots play. They have Llanowar Elves on 1 again. We do find Fable. They do have the mana to cast Fight Rigging, if allowed. We don't have a great answer to that right now, so I do think we have to just play Cat Thoughtseize here and Fable on a future turn. I guess we start Thoughtseize in that case. Lantern, Gargaroth. I mean, okay. Gargaroth it is. They did keep Obosh as a companion. So no 2 or 3 drop or 2 or 4 drops coming in. No ley lines of the void. One assumes they just play Soul Guide Lantern here. They could buy Obosh, I guess. Sure. That's fine with me. If we attack with the cat, it's condemned to being exiled with the lantern. But it means they lose their Llanowar Elf. So I think we're thrilled with that. This is a trade we're happy to make. Otherwise, I just take one. That's fine. And play Fable. Get this show on the road. Now we can dig for things like Thoughtseize, we can dig for things like Binding. Just buy Obosh, that's great. Fatal Push. Fatal Push is really good. Do I discard anything at all? I think I do discard this Blood Crypt. I think if we miss a land draw for the turn, it's not the end of the world. Oh, that's real good. Okay. Trail of Crumbs. Fatal Push. And we're just going to draw off the trail right away, see if we can hit our land drop. We do. Do I want it on black or green? I think the answer is black. Thing. And say go. Again, we know the opponent has Obosh, so there's no 4-mana play coming. Their best 3-mana play last turn was buy Obosh, so... they did draw 2 cards, one off the Lantern, one off the top. So it's possible they have something a little better. It looks like Boseiju, given the way they're hovering my Trail of Crumbs. Interesting. Off. There you go. No upkeep top. Well, alrighty then. In that case, we're gonna go to combat. I guess they could have something at instant speed, like a flash threat. We have how much mana? 4, 5, 6. And yeah, we're just gonna cast Fable and be pretty happy with it. And if you have a board wipe, then I guess okay. We get to refuel pretty well off this trail. Paganila, sure. Retrieves Regisaur, I assume. Retrieves Gargaroth, okay. We had a lot of looks at, we had an awful lot of looks at a binding. They don't have the mana to cast Gargaroth, that's also pretty great. And we go ahead and upkeep stop, just to be able to draw off the Trail of Crumbs on upkeep if that mattered, to be able to loot away more things with the Fable. If they were able to cast Gargaroth, I think it would be important to find Binding as quickly as we could. But it didn't matter. Cool. 1-0, on to the next one. We are on the play with another one-lander. I don't think we can keep this one, unfortunately. I want to. Sometimes you can with these decks, but not in this case. Opponent kept. It's awkward, but we'll keep. I mean, it's not. It's a moderate hand, but we'll keep. I think we put back one of these. Say go. Or don't say go. Play high, play cat. Say go. I think we mulligan. We're on the play. We want to be as aggressive as can be. We're going to attack the cat. need a trail. Shipwreck March could be some sort of control, could be Greasefang. In either case, we want to get the trail down. We get Thought Seized. Okay, that's fine. We lose our Mayhem Devil. Castle Vantress. Now we're quite sure that we're up against control. Gilded Goose is an outstanding draw, obviously. We start with the Goose. If we can... I think we just have to play the Overgrown Tomb tapped. Because we won't be able to draw off the trail this turn no matter what we do. Goose is good. Fable's real good. And in fact, I probably should have played the red source in case they had a way to discard my land. I would be able to draw off the that I find it. I think we can be fairly confident that a board wipe is coming here. No, but they do have Field of Ruin to deal with 5. I should have had an upkeep stop to loot away anything I found off trail. Probably. Alright, I'll take another Fable. So, I can jam Fable into what's like a certain counterspell. Although I don't know what they would have. Negate, I guess? Make disappear? I'm not sure, but I think when in doubt, we're going to do the thing that doesn't play into the counterspell. We're going to do the uncounterable thing when they're holding up mana. Yeah, I'm going to just eat this food, I think. Take the opportunity to pay. I don't think the land we take matters much. But the trail's not bad. Alright, let's start by going to combat. I don't know what we're up against. It's like Dimir Control is probably running. Torrential Gearhook, I think, is legal. If I shock in, I have enough mana to draw off the Trail of Crumbs anyway. Yeah, let's just play another trail. Sabotage. Wow, okay. Thoughtseize. Let's see, do you have negate? Nope. Double spelling against this deck feels pretty good. And let's see, the opponent may have a board wipe here. Seems unlikely unless they're playing Literal Cry of the Carnarium. This does give us the mana to eat a food and draw off the trail, which is great. Set. We care about that, unfortunately. We can't discard with the Fable in play now. I mean, we can, but we shouldn't. We won't get to draw again. Let's see what they hit. Might Fatal Push that they are able to cast. Okay. Pretty good turn from the opponent, all things considered. Narset's still gonna die. I assume they kill Kiki Fiki. They can do because they had exactly Fatal Push. Yeah, that resolved. The question is, do I do this now, or do I do it on my turn? I think the answer is I do it on my turn. I don't want to bin the treasures. Fatal Push. We do not discard. Narset will stop us. Let's hit Narset as best we can. Let's see if we can just find, like, Mayhem Devil, I guess? Sage is a good one. I'll say go. We'd love like a food producer or something. Opponent shocked in. What do you suppose that means? We are out of food. We are flooding. They have another shark, I guess is the point, but we have a fatal push. Shark for x equals 3. Alright. Before they draw, we'll fatal push. Try to avoid them finding a counterspell. They don't have one already. They do have negate. Okay. Okay. We'll buy Giganta. And I guess we're playing this on green to hold up the Sage. Kind of out of gas. Draw has not treated us super well. Not being able to loot away with the Kiki-Biki has hurt. Not being able to get more food for the trail has hurt. I'm going to be attacking with the 3-3, which is pretty frightening. I guess we're just going to slam Giganta, try to copy it. That's a Gearhulk. We can kill that with the Taiju. I guess there's not a great reason to do it now. We can do it on their upkeep instead. I don't want to give them 2 mana, in case they can use it somehow. We could do it to just force through more damage. In fact, I think that is what we're supposed to do. Come to think of it. We're behind. We have to force through damage while we can. Maybe they'll Thoughtseize us if we hold a card in our hand. That's pretty good. If this resolves, we're in pretty good shape. I don't expect it to resolve. Okay, okay. I'm gonna crack that food. And whiff. It's tough. Alright. Yeah, sure. Extinction Event really good against us, and we are flooding like there's no tomorrow. I've not seen many Castle Vantress activations in this Clover, I have to say. That one to the top is probably enough to kill us. Ray Deluge is probably lights out. We need, like, Core Hold off the top to resolve, basically. Alright. Does it resolve? Yeah, okay. Well, that was fun. On to game 2. Yeah, we just weren't able to get a whole lot of pressure on the board early on that game. We did find Trail of Crimes, we just didn't... Like, normally that's hell for these control decks to get through, but we just did not have any way to create food. I don't really know what this deck does against, like... The more, like, mono reds would probably just eat this deck alive, I would think, but... Okay. Let's see, do we have a sideboard guide for this? all the Thoughtseizes against control, obviously. The duress is really good. How do I feel about binding against them? I feel like Hearse is like low-key pretty good against the Gearhulk plan. It's also just a vehicle that dodges their board wipes pretty well. So I think I do want that. Fatal Push I think can go. Just doesn't hit enough. I don't think I want to cut the ovens, even though that's what the board is telling me to do. We resolved a lot of these Fables too, and just didn't get anywhere with them. Look at the sideboard guide, and it feels a little of I don't know what to cut, so cut one of everything kind of thing. They're likely to have, like, Graveyard Hate, maybe Ley Lines. They can't have, yeah, Ley Lines would make some sense. I guess I'm down to cut a cat. We only really need one. I'm playing, we have the cat oven. Love it. I think we lead with the oven. Yeah, we do lead with the oven. It'll be harder for them to remove the oven on one than it would be to remove the cat. The life is great. No Cry of the Carnarium to play around here, so I guess we just say go for now. Right? I think so. Because if they play, like, Unlicensed Hearse, I'll want to have the cat on the battlefield. Let's see. So we have to do this now, otherwise it'll get complicated. And we can Besage away the Hearse if you want. Do we do that now? I think we just Fable while we can, while they're tapped out. Attack with the cat. This doesn't mean we can't go through the normal cycle. But if they... I don't think the cat is their number one problem. Hopefully they don't slam Narset here to counter the Fable. I also don't want to ramp them in the early turns with Beseju with this Hearse. Like, the difference between them having 3 mana here and then having 4 mana is pretty large. I'm down to just use the oven on that. Also, they don't gain the life. Sure. They exiled Cry of the Carnarium as well. What's going on here? They targeted the token. The token was 0. They didn't have to exile that Cry. I actually, honest to God, think I submit 0. I play the Mayhem Devil, we run headlong into Extinction Event, and I think that's the reason you would target the token instead of the cat. So maybe I'm just supposed to play Fable here, and then Beseju and Mayhem Devil on a following turn. Rather than take my whole turn off here. I think I like that. We know this will resolve. And I guess I want this on black. We will have 2 foods as well, so we can run the Witch's Oven cycle if we want. But I don't think we want. Probably should have worked with these triggers differently. But I don't think it matters too much. Yeah, go to combat. I was thinking of playing the Mayhem Devil first to make it awkward for a cycled shark. I think I just don't attack the cat to play around that. Yeah, they do, but this is a fine trade, I think. I think we slam the Mayhem Devil here as well. Make their Extinction event really, really good. But we can... I want the cat in my graveyard now in case they have Cry of the Carnarium. Because if it goes into the graveyard on their turn, it'll still get exiled. If that's what they have. But that lets them unlicensed Hearse. I have to bring the cat back. I can Besage you. Away the unlicensed Hearse. That's probably the thing to do. Go upstairs with that. Now they have 1 mana that they can't really do anything with. And I'm going to sack the cat now to play around Cry. Alright, that's fine. They have an exile spell for the cat here. I guess that's still fine. Like, it has to be literal exile. If it's just a kill spell, we still have another food that should bring it back. I think this is safe. We have another oven, not that standing. And I hope we can bait, like, counterspell out of them with the Gilded Goose. Another oven. And we're going to put the cat in the oven once again to play around Cry of the Carnarium. We have the Indulgent Taint. They made their loot decision pretty easily. They threw away a land. It's possible they're pretty flooded here. Fatal Passage. We're going to run this cycle one more time. I'm undecided about whether to return to the field one more time. It's probably not necessary. I don't want to risk it. I think we just attack. Well, come to think of it, I think we don't. If we attack and they have Shark, then that's kind of bad news for us. I don't want to lose this Geeky Cheeky. Yeah, I think the answer is no. And play our land, buy Giganta. And just say go, I think. Like, with Kiki Jiki in play, copying the cat, these ovens do a bunch of damage. What's this gonna get back? Probably Extinction Event? No, it has to be an instant. What instant is it gonna hit? Tainted Indulgence or March? Okay, that's fine. Sure. They do get to draw the 2. Cycle Sensor, sure. Are we getting frisky? We are. I'll take 5. Fine with me. See if we can copy this. We're just going to try to maximize our damage here. Attacking with the Gearhulk is such an aggressive move. I feel like they have to have a shark. They have to feel pretty safe. Another cat. We can Gigantha, copy Gigantha. That seems pretty good. Let's see if that resolves. Oh, it's a legendary creature? We actually can't copy it. Alright, sure. Okay. Really? A shark? No way. Okay. Still doing pretty okay, I think. Dimir's gonna have a hard time gaining life. Extinction Event. That's gonna hit our entire board. Yeah, there's not much we can do about that. Sacrifice Giganta to get an extra food, or I can cycle the cat one more time to get an extra point of damage. I think I have more than enough food. I think this is fine. We are going to take 11 here, though. A little scary. Why is that also scary?
I know 88 ways to keep an open mind.
The cat does block the Gearhulk. So it's not that bad. Shadow's Verdict is terrifying. But they can't cast it yet. We do have another cat in hand. And there it will remain. To play around another Shadow's Verdict. To play around the Shadow's Verdict. I don't think there's any downside to bringing the cat back now. I guess they could have Fatal Push, but if they do, then we have more food to do it. Find more land. Great. We're just going to try to get our damage through. Same deal. Play around Cry. Best we can. We also have this as like 1 point of burn that they don't know about.
Meditate and prepare.
I'm definitely scared. That Shadow's Verdict is like someone who did not want to lose to Jund. They had Shadow's Verdicts, they had main deck Cry of the Carnarium. This is a Dimir Control player who is like, fuck Jund. We're gonna block. And we're gonna just let the cat die. Getting me up one more time, basically use their Gearhulk as the Witch's Oven. Shadow's Verdict, yep. I think we probably have them. Obviously, this cat's a goner, but that's why we kept this one in hand. And even if they counter the cat, somehow we have food left to bring it back. So this is fine. That's funny that it hit their own Narset. That's pretty cool. And we got you. That's the pause of someone who thought they stabilized. Did not. Okay. Yeah, that felt pretty good. They kept in the Gearhulks against us, so I think we need to keep our unlicensed Tursus in, even though that was, even though we didn't find one that game, I think it would have been good. Is there anything we saw that game that makes us want anything else? We did find the one of the Seiju to kill the unlicensed her. Excuse me, to kill the unlicensed Tursus, which was a pretty big deal. Maybe I want some number of bindings to deal with that, but that just seems so narrow. On the draw, I think bringing in any number of Korvolds is probably just not what we're supposed to be doing. I think this is fun. We'll try this. Well, that's a hand of magic cards. Unfortunately, on the draw, I think it's a hand we can't keep. Jeez. I don't think we can keep this one either. Okay. We can keep this. I don't think I want to be thought seizing when I ult to 5. Just 1-for-1 trades are not good for me. It's probably just put back a thought seize, a goose. I hope this is good enough. If we find like a trail of crumbs or something, then that's great. They thought seize us. Alright. It's pretty bad. They take the hearse. We are definitely just playing the goose. Best draw would be Trail of Crumbs, assuming that they counterspell. Shocking In does kind of indicate it's a counterspell, so that's not ideal. We did find Hive, which, you know, hard to go, it's not terrible. They looted away a Shark Typhoon, so hopefully they're hurting on land. And playing Otawara also suggests that they're hurting on land. You only play those if you don't have anything else. We'll just make another food, I guess. We are sad. We play a cat. Feels like the extinction event's coming. What's the alternative behind Giganta? If they don't have Extinction Event and just have a kill spell, then that's a pretty good draw. We could have also, I guess, Takenuma to try. Does Takenuma get back? No, it doesn't get back the hearse. So, yeah, not many options. I think the cat was the best play. It's just we're really in bad shape here. If they have a hearse of their own, we can at least Besaju it before our cat dies. Yeah, we're doing our best here on this multiply, but I don't have high hopes. More food, why not? Another goose. Yeah. They did miss a land drop. And didn't do anything. There's not really anything to be gained by playing another goose, right? And the other question is, which of these lands do I want to play? I think Besaju is much more useful than the Takenuma. I think our way to win this game would be to like rip an oven off the top, and I want to have an answer to a hearse if that's what they have. So we'll do this. I'm going to buy Giganta, hold up Besaju. I am baffled that they didn't cycle that sensor on their turn to try to hit their land drop. I guess they were worried about Corvold. Anyway, they've gotten 3 more looks deep. Shock. Extinction Event. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty bad news for us. But we do get to slam Giganta next turn at least. I want to keep the Besaju around. Make them answer Giganta. Extinction Event and Cry the Carnarium and our Multiply. That's pretty frightening stuff. We can activate the Hive. They have removal. It's unlikely they'll be able to remove both Giganta and the Hive. I think we're probably at that point in the game. Also, this does, if the Hive is allowed to attack, which I doubt it will be, I should have played that on green, but then it would be nice to be able to exile one of their Ancient Indulgences. Yeah. Okay. Don't beat me up too bad. We are down 3 cards. So. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we don't have this goose in play because I made the boneheaded decision to play this on black. Besaju at least is unthought seizable. There's no way in hell this resolves, right? But we just have to try. It's like Graveyard Hate the Dead over there. Person's like, you know, fuck Fang, fuck Jund. Alright, that's not awful. We'll do this before they get to untap and find. Oh, you joking me? Yeah, I guess. We mulled 2 one-landers, right? I don't think we're at the point where we're sacrificing this food for life yet. Okay, well, now we are. Yeah, this game 3 has been pretty unfortunate. Game 1 was pretty unfortunate too, honestly. I don't think we've drawn very well this match. I actually don't think we drew very well in Game 2 either. We were just able to get there. I think we're probably supposed to eat one of these. Oh my god. Alright. I don't think we're supposed to sack this last food yet. The problem is they haven't been playing anything, which makes it likely that their entire hand is either lands or counterspells, and I don't think we can beat a counterspell. They just, like, surely haven't. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been nice, like, 4 draw steps ago. Instead, I think we're probably dead. They did put a cry in the bin. I guess we hold on to this. Maybe tempt him to Thoughtseize us. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm supposed to, like, try to draw the next trail of crumbs off the top. Torrential Gear Hulk also makes sense. First, okay. First, at least we can kill with the Seiju. We will just do that now. Yeah, sure, you got it. It's gone. No more Boseiju in the graveyard for me. Magic's fun. Now we have to eat this food. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's nice. I would like a Narset. I would like a Narset that finds Winter Deluge. Oh my god. Does it resolve? Alright, alright. Uh-huh. Okay.
Thoughtfulness before action.
Well, this has been appalling. I'm sure the opponent's good game there is just telling me that they have a counterspell in hand at this point. The game's over. But we're just going to keep playing, because I want to see how many lands we draw. At this point in the game, that is basically a land. Are you going to counter the cat? No? Okay. Yeah. They're going to cycle the shark for X equals 5, and we're going to die. Yeah, you did it. Congratulations. Okay, so obviously the deck did not perform super well here. I think the deck has a good matchup against Control. I don't think it has a great matchup against Control that's mainboarding Cry the Carnarium, Extinction Event. I think it was mainboarding Soul Guide Lantern as well. I think it was mainboarding Unlicensed Hearse. I mean, all of these cards are just really, really bad unless you specifically run into Jund Food. But, you know, kudos to the opponent. They did run into us this time, so... Okay, 1-1, on to the next one. Okay, I think this is keepable. We do hope these Fatal Pushes are good, but I think against a good swath of the meta they are. We're on the draw, unfortunately. I have been on the draw a lot today. I've played a lot of Magic today. I've been on the draw an awful lot. That is an outstanding draw. We're going to start with the It's possible they have March. Blue-white control, much better against Jund than it used to be. Oh, this is not blue-white control. This is probably Esper Angels. We are short on the black mana needed to Fatal Push that and play the cat. But we're going to do it anyway. Fatal Push the Giada, because that is just a vital part of their plan. We're going to chalk in, and we're going to play with 7. We're going to hope that we get the cat and we get the Mayhem Devil down. And another Giada. Awkward. Yeah, really awkward. The problem is now it doesn't ramp them anymore, because like any angel they find, they're going to be able to cast. I think now the plan is actually just get the cat down. Try to keep their life total under control so they don't go huge. One of the creature decks that actually can stand a chance against Jund, just because it flies over the cat. That Valkyrie is huge. So is that one. They're gonna gain a ton of life. Like, we're not gonna be able to bring in that. We need to be a little more aggressive. Can't just sit back anymore. Missing the land last turn was an enormous deal. Found land. So we can play Mayhem Devil, and we'll get a bunch of pings off of the cat, and I think that that's probably what we have to do. 1, 2... Each oven represents 2 triggers. We have 1 with the cat, so we have 5 triggers. We can kill the Valkyrie, the Righteous Valkyrie. I think that is kind of what we have to do. Alternative is we can just go face and hope to Fatal Push something. But the Valkyrie will just replace that life total anyway. So I think we just do this now. They're on 2 cards in hand. So Giada is not super useful anymore, but it is pretty scary still. Okay. Alright. That's not bad. So I think the time is cut. Does this produce green? It does. So they have Collected Company. They do. Alright. I guess we're just playing Cradle Crumbs and not attacking. If Giada doesn't play when Collected Company resolves, they're just going to get a bunch of bigger creatures. So much life. Okay, so once again we have 5 pings with the cat, and all this stuff is just way too big. I guess we can attack. So if we bring back the cat, we have 5 more pings with it. If we get them below 27, that's like we're doing 2 damage to everything. I think that's probably what we're going to do. Are we paying? Yeah, I guess we are. Why not? 4 volt's good. Mayhem Devil's also really good, actually. Maybe we're just supposed to do that and just try to overpower them that way. But Core Hold. I mean, we don't have the mana to cast it. I guess it does have to be Mayhem Devil. One. Let's kill this. 2. 3. 4. Can you please run out of gas now? Targeting. Okay. Targeting the devil's not the worst. We have another. We did not draw the land, so we wouldn't have been able to cast. Not have been able to cast Core if we had taken him, so feeling pretty good about the decision to take the Mayhem Devil. Probably just supposed to say go. No. I think we at least run the cycle once, so they can't pump the Skyclave apparitions somehow. With a Coco. Actually, this way lets us trigger Trail of Crumbs and we can try to draw off of it. Hit our land drop for turn. Another cat is not really where we're at. We are going kind of wide. Like, the opponent is still at 23. We have triggered many, many Mayhem Devils. Huh. I think we're just supposed to kill this 1/1 before that touches the board. A lot of life. Can we draw... Devil? We draw a Goose. That's actually really good. Goose does many things for us. Let's start with Deadly Dispute. I want to pitch one of these foods, I think. Do I? I do, actually. I think I want to pitch this 3/3. What's our first target? I think it has to be Linvala. I think it does have to be Linvala. That's also really good. Let's run one cycle of this. I will pay once. Yeah, I'll take another trail. So sack a treasure, which will finish off Linvala. I think now we can just kill off the Bishop of Wings. Let's sack the cat. Take the bishop. Wow. What a game this has turned out to be. Look at this. Do we finally have this under control? I mean, another Coco and we could just be way behind again. Shocks and Bishop of Wings. Alright. Big 6. We find Deadly Dispute. Okay. Let's start with Deadly Dispute. Hit the Bishop of Wings. Yeah, sure, I guess. Huh? Other Oven's great. Find another Guilty Goose. Alright. Let's play the Witch's Oven. Sack the cat. Bing the bishop. Back the food. Hit the bishop. Take the one. Take the high. Decline. I want to cast this goose, just to make sure I don't die. I also do want to kill this Resplendent Angel before, I want to kill this Resplendent Angel before they get to untap and pump it. I guess the best thing to do right now is actually just, back the treasure so it stops prompting me. Yeah, sack the cat. Get the Resplendent Angel. And this is where they top hit Coco, right? Like, if 100% of the time they find Coco in this spot. We're not tapping the geese. So let's just get the Hive into play. And we'll swing with the Mayhem Devil. And don't somehow kill me. Don't, like, get protection from green. Yeah. Wow. That was a game of Magic. Holy crap. Okay, somehow we actually have a sideboard guide for this. In come the Doomblades, in comes Noxious Grasp, in comes one Binding and a Vraska. I gotta say that doesn't feel right to me, but we'll go with it. This card I just feel is really bad. Like real bad. Especially on the draw. But I guess if you're asking me what else to bring in, I don't really know. I don't want Thoughtseize against the aggro deck. A Braid doesn't hit anything. Alright. Let's try this. No lander. My draws with this deck have not been great. This is pretty bad, too. We're, like, gonna need to use the Gilded Goose mana to Fatal Push Gauda. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. But I think we have to keep. And I think we're putting back Binding. We do need the Goose in play to be able to Fatal Push their food drop. Gauda is too good. Okay, that's actually a really good draw. That makes our life easier. I'm interested in killing the Bishop of Wings. Not right now, anyway. We can wait. Gauda would be one that I'd have to deal with right away. Hopefully we draw a cat. Vertible Hole. Let's see what that targets. Targets our oven. That makes sense. I think we need this to deal with, like, what's it called? A Righteous Valkyrie. I think this means we're going to cast Mayhem Devil. And And we're gonna hold up Fatal Push to kill the Valkyrie. I hate it. Skyclave Apparition. Okay, this is only when an angel dies, right? Yeah, this is not an angel. It's fine. I guess I should have sacrificed the food in response to make the mana. Yeah, small mistake. Another mistake. Now they can attack with the 1/4. No, they can't. We have 3/3 block. Their hand's been slow. So slow that it does feel like it has to be Coco. Like one of these 4 cards must be. Alrighty then. They may not block. Nope, no fear. Probably Witch's Oven, make food. Hope to find a cat again. Yeah, that's a Righteous Valkyrie. Righteous Valkyrie that we do not have a great answer to. Portable Hole. Okay, target the Witch's Oven. Yeah. Our draw has been pretty poor. Theirs hasn't been great either, but I think, like you saw in the last game, our draw has to be like pretty heroic to deal with this. Another goose. We'll just play it all. But I think we are about to die. Oh boy. Yeah, we are extremely dead. Because they're going to make another angel on end step. Bishop's going to trigger. Yeah. And we're going to draw land. Don't see a way out of this one. It's going to take, like, Trail of Crumbs into something pretty special. This is where they have Coco as well. Lyra. Alright. You got it, opponent. We didn't... I wouldn't say we got angeled on the play, I just think that we just didn't really accomplish anything. Both of our ovens got exiled, our Mayhem Devil got exiled, and the rest of our stuff didn't do anything, and we drew more lands than our opponent. So, there's that. Does that make me more interested in bringing in the Abrades now that I know their main removal is Portable Hole? Vraska is so bad. But at least Vraska kills a Resplendent Angel. Or, well, I guess it kills that too, but Righteous Valkyrie. We'll run this back. We have Cat, we have Fatal Push, we have Trail. Okay. We don't have the green to cast the Trail, actually. Which is something I should have paid more attention to, but I have played entirely too much Magic today, and we're just going to pretend... we do have the green, actually. What am I saying? As you can see, I have been playing way too much Magic today. This is the second video recording of the day. This third match is the last one I'm going to play. I really hope we get there. So yeah, that's our green source. We're going to toss this in. Play the cat. Okay, we'll play this on green. Play Trail of Crumbs, and we're going to attack. This is the advantage of being on play. We don't need to answer Hiata the turn it enters play. We can untap and answer it that way. We find an oven. Life is wonderful. I'm gonna Fatal Push your bishop. I'm gonna play a Witch's Oven. I'm gonna play Attack Enuma. And I'm gonna attack. Skyclave Apparition, target. Oven, sure. I think I do bring it back this turn. Because obviously I bring it back this turn because I want to maximize my usage of the Trail of Crumbs. We found a land. That land will allow us to play Binding. Found another land which will allow us to play Corvold, which is a big deal. Could have held the Binding for another Angel, but if Skyclave Apparition was their best play, then they might not have the Righteous Valkyrie. Also, these are going to get Death Touch at some point. Forest card. I don't think it much matters. I guess I have a black-red source in hand, so let's get another green into play. All right. Let's get cracking. We can play Corvold here. Sack the cat. Draw a card. And we can bring the cat back from the graveyard if that's what we decide we want to do. It'll pump the Corvold again. Corvold also dodges Skyclave Apparition and Portable Hole, which is their biggest thing. I would like to bring back the cat on my turn. Oh, baby, yeah. Cycle that back. We love it. I guess I actually do want to bring in the cat so it has Death Touch and I can attack through the Resplendent Angel. I think I buy that. And the opponent's seen enough, yeah. I mean, all of that was face-up on board. The opponent's had enough Corvold shit. Corvold pretty good, as it turns out. This deck is just not equipped to deal with a 5-drop, multicolor, high-toughness creature. So, yeah, Jund, I think, interestingly positioned in the meta. I think the blue-white control decks, having access to Farewell and access to March of Otherworldly Light, make the deck much worse than it used to be. If you run into that Dimir Control deck that we ran into, holy shit, just, you know, if everyone starts main decking Cry of the Carnarium and Extinction Event, then this is not the deck to play. But I think you saw some pretty impressive stuff out of this deck in this video, especially game 1, in this game, in match number 3, where we just fought and churned and chugged through the opponent's entire hand. We played through a Coco, we played through multiple Righteous Valkyries, we played through a Resplendent Angel, we played through Bishop of Wings, and we just got there. That's the power that this deck has, and that's why Cat Oven is not going away anytime soon. So I think this deck is pretty good. I would be interested in playing it in the meta. I think you can ladder with it. I think you can get to Mythic pretty easily with it. I think you can probably get to High Mythic pretty easily with it too, just given the stuff that we've run into on the ladder today in this video and the previous one. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next one. Talk to you later.